The video you can see on the screen was generated entirely using Minimax AI. This next video was generated using the 1.5 Pro model of Kling AI. Now check out these realistic looking images. They were all generated using the Flux AI image model. AI is doing a lot in helping us streamline the workflow involved in generating videos in form of short movies. As a matter of fact, the voice you are hearing is a cloned version of my voice from ElevenLabs. What if I told you there is a tool that brings all these models together to help you create AI movies effortlessly? This video is here to show you everything you need to know about this tool. It's a bit of a long one, so feel free to use the chapters if you are looking for something specific. Let's dive in. Now, that wonderful tool you heard me talk about in the intro is called FocalML, which happens to be our today's video sponsor. Now, FocalML is a tool that encompasses all the major, at least most of the major AI models, ranging from video generation to image generation down to voice generation using AI. It has done a lot to ensure that it brings up those best of the best generators to help you just keep them in one place so you can use them to generate your own movies. And I'm going to show you how we can use FocalML to achieve something like that. Now, signing up is actually very easy. Just go to FocalML.com. You would be required to use your Google account at the moment. And now I am logged in. So what I'm going to do now is to just go to the app itself by clicking on Enter App. Now, as you can see on the list of projects, I have already used this to test out a project, and it's called Toy Room Adventures Unfold. It's actually a story for kids whereby it brings out the living part of all the toys a kid might have in his own room and makes it a bit fun. So we are going to take a different approach in this video, and I'm just going to explore the features as we go through everything. So let's go ahead and start a new project. It's actually very easy to use this tool. Just put it at the back of your mind that it's credit-based. It's a credit-based system. So whatsoever you do, just ensure that it works within the range of credits that you have. Now, okay, you have three options once you start a new project. You have the idea option, you have the script, and you have the blank project option. And this looks very familiar if you've watched my video on LTX Studio, and if you haven't, I'm just going to link it above. But what this basically does is, if you just have an idea as indicated here, whereby it says there's an example here where you can just tell the system, I want you to generate a movie about World War II. That's it. I mean, it would go ahead and do the major work of trying to come up with a script and the characters and all that. But then if you already have a script, you can just insert it here. But if you're the type that wants to be very specific with what you do, then the blank project option is for you. So in this case, we have an idea and we want to just use that idea. So I'm just going to use the from idea section to create plots. Now I have this, all I'm telling the system is I need you to write a short story that looks like a modern action movie. The story should have three main characters: a rich lady, a bodyguard, and an assassin targeting her. The story should showcase how the bodyguard saves the lady. That's basically what the story is about. And now that we have this, let's see how this generates the plot. All right. So from what I can see here, we have a title generated for us, and it's Shadows of the Neon Skyline. There are different acts. And so Act 1, his target. The name of the lady is Veronica Castle. Now, I don't know how many acts we have here, but this is pretty long. And do I really need this long? I mean, all right, we have 5 acts. So I believe that might just do it. But it looks so detailed, which is fine. Now when you go through the script, you would notice that there are names there, and those are the characters. There's Jake, there is I saw Alexei, and the first character we saw, which what was the name again? Veronica, or I saw Veronica Castle. Now we have 3 characters, and all we need to do is just click on continue. Now this next phase, yeah, as you can see, it has named the title, the project, it has given it a title. Now the next stage gives us room to select the style that we want the video to be in. It has already selected photorealistic hyperrealism style as default, but if you want, you can also use styles like the 3D render. You could also use watercolor or even comic book style. It all depends on your choice, but I think we're sticking with this. So what this is doing now is it would generate characters based on the style that we've selected. And this is Veronica, the rich lady. This is Jake. I think this should be the assassin. And then this is Alexei. All right. So I haven't read the story. I just asked it to generate this, and it did. And there are locations here. So there's a Lux Hotel. There's a rooftop. This is getting pretty intense, right? All right. So now, as I showed you in the intro, FocalML also generates voices based on ElevenLabs models, which sounds pretty realistic. And one thing I like with this tool is that it knows what gender the character is, and it assigns the voice based on the gender. So Veronica is the female, and you can see it assigning the name, the voice of a guy to a female character, if you know what I mean. And then Jake and Alexei are both guys. So these are, and I really don't know how it selects the character voices, but it matches the specific video that you are producing, that you are generating. Next, by default, now this gives you 10 chapters, and you can either reduce or increase. It accepts a maximum of 100 chapters, and for this case, because it puts 10 chapters, we can go ahead and just use the 10 chapters it has indicated. But I just need to have around 6 or 4 chapters. So let's just have 5 chapters. 5 chapters will be fine. And then for this in this case, I would just regenerate the chapters because I have reduced the number. So it's going to try to fit everything within the number of chapters that we have indicated. All right, so we have the number of chapters indicated here. So this is 5, 1, 2, 5. And as you can see, each chapter looks a bit longer. So it just had to compress all that we had within 5 chapters. And if you're satisfied with all you have here, then just go ahead and click on Create Project. Now, this is where the major things happen. This is called the Copilot. It's more like the editor that you usually have, the video editor you usually have on your computer. If you, instead of you exporting the video and then using tools like CapCut or Premiere Pro or whatsoever video editor you use to edit, this provides you with all that you need, to just do some basic editing. Now, we have already created the chapters, and if you can see the timeline, it has all the 5 chapters indicated here. And what we have here is the chapter names, but when you click on each chapter name, it will prompt you to generate what's in that chapter. Everything is encompassed within this, because when you click on characters and location, you would see the characters generated and the locations. And there are other things that you can also add if you want, like scenes or shots or even weather, but we are not going into that just yet. We want to just use what the system has given us to generate what we have asked for. And for the voices, you will see that these are things that you would normally need to add manually, but the system helps you to just take off the workload. The style, we have selected photorealism, but then as I explained in the intro, for voices it uses ElevenLabs, and for image generation, these are the models that FocalML supports. So there's the Flux, which so far, I mean, when you want to generate hyper realistic images of human characters, Flux is one that has so far arguably the best. It has 3 versions of Flux model, and if you read here, you would see that the Flux Pro is the one that has the best quality in the Flux family. We are going with it, but also note that you're using credit system, and the best models you select would consume more credits than the others. So since this is just 5 scenes, we can go ahead and use it, right? So for the images part generation, it would ask you to either generate 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 images that you can choose from in each scene. And the more the number of images you choose, the more the credits that go, but then the more the options that you have to choose from. So we are leaving this on 4. But then for the video model, I think we should go with Minimax, even though Minimax would also take more credits. But Minimax is one of the best AI generation models so far. And you can see even from the time it would take to generate the videos, Minimax has the highest, which is 480 seconds. But to be honest, if you're actually using Minimax or Hailuo's website to generate or convert images to videos, it would probably take longer than this, especially if you're on your free account. So I am going with Minimax for this. And for the aspect ratio, we would stick to landscape, which is 16:9, and it's fine that way for full screen. Now, for the chapters, this would fill up the chapters based on what we have indicated. And now that we have all this selected, next thing we just need to do is create from this. So the first thing it would do once we click on Control K or Command K is it will go ahead and select the context from the chapter that we have there. And if we like what we already have here, we can just allow this prompt to run, which just basically says it should adapt this and it shouldn't change anything. So I'm just going to click on generate, and generating just shows you the number of tokens it takes. And fear not, I mean, you can see hundreds of tokens here. It doesn't mean it's going to take hundreds of tokens from here, but each generation you do would tell you how many tokens it's taking, and the conversion to credits is something that FocalML hasn't really specified so far. But the best part is it gives you the option to use these high quality models, and at a faster rate as well, because as I am talking, this is what we have. I mean, it has generated some of the images, and these are looking great. I mean, just look at this. I mean, all right, so I was actually mistaken. The guy in the suit is the assassin, and the other guy in armless shirt is the bodyguard. So if you like what you see, what you've seen so far, I mean, from the images or from this part, you can just go ahead and click on accept. And for this, I don't really have any question because I have chosen Minimax for the video generation, and I've chosen Flux Pro 1.1 for the image generation. So I should, to some extent, know that I am getting high quality image. If you like what you've been watching so far, then a like to this video and a sub to the channel will be massively helpful. Now let's continue with the video. But it doesn't just stop there. Now these are images generated by Flux. So if you keep going through the images, this has added it automatically to the timeline. And if you keep going through the images, you would see that the images generated actually have high quality precision. You can keep going and see where this stops. And there are voices right here as well. And these were generated also based on the script that we've given it. And from here, now that we have this is the first part, or is it the first scene? And the first scene is packed with so much, like there's so much going on in the first scene. I can't even imagine how or what's happening here. But it doesn't just stop here, because all we have here right now are the images. And if you like what you see, let's say this part is one that, well, I don't know what's happening here. I mean, this looks like a place where the rich attend events. I don't know. But if you don't really like something here, you can always click on edit, and it would help you to make some tweaks based on what you see fit. But if you are the type of person that wants to still do further edits, I mean, apart from just allowing the AI to be creative, then you would just have to use the blank option so that you can have a full canvas to do all those actions that you require. Now, since we've generated all these images, you have the option to animate all of them at once, or you can animate them one by one. And if you want to animate each image as it is, I can just either click on this and animate it from the timeline of the Copilot, or what I can do is regenerate this image if I don't like it, but then it would follow this same prompt to regenerate a new image. What I can also do is to animate it when I click on the image and then click on edit, and it brings up this menu, and this is where you can go ahead after clicking this to make the necessary changes. If you click on animate here, it would ask you to enter a motion prompts that you want, and this is assuming you prefer to have the camera angles looking somehow, I mean, just in a way that you imagine it to look. So far, for the first scene, we have this duration of footage, and when you click on the last image, this is where you would see the duration that you have for the first scene as generated by the AI. Now, if we like this first scene, all we need to do is just come back to this part and click on this to generate the second one. And this would now run as we've done the first one. And all we need to do is just click on generate if we want to allow the AI to do its thing. But you know, on a normal situation, if you want to generate your story, you must already have the story in mind, just like I gave it. And if you have one particular change or tweak that you want the AI to do, it's always better for you to allow the AI to show you what it has. Then before generating, you make those tweaks yourself. But if you're the type like me that just wants to have some fun, have an engaging story, also be caught by surprise, then it's always good to do it the way I am doing, whereby you would have the AI do all this and then it would generate the video all by itself. So as you can see, our video, I mean, our second scene is generating, and this is even faster than I expected. I mean, this is even faster than I thought. I can see this rich lady still meeting up with other rich guys, and the bodyguard looks like someone who is just putting an eye and looking out for potential dangers. So I'm just going to accept this. So now we have two scenes ready, and I mean, this is all that we have. We can go ahead and generate these other three scenes, but I mean, the story won't be complete if we don't do the rest. But since I'm just trying to showcase how this system works, I don't really need to complete this, because it's something that you can always give it a try. Now we can zoom out of the timeline by just dragging this, or zoom in also. So we have this as I drag it to the left So this takes me to the first part. We can just go ahead and select every image here. So I can just go ahead and select from this part to this, and it will show me the number of images that need to be converted to videos. And so far we have 17. So if we go ahead and try to animate this, it will animate all the 17 at once. So we don't really need to think of, hey, did I skip this image, or have I animated it, or do I need to retouch it? So if you already have everything in place, you can select everything just like I did and click on animate. So it's going to animate what we have here. But since we've selected Minimax, the maximum animation that you can do at a go is for 4 images. So it means we have to select 4 at a time, and this is based on restrictions by Minimax, aka Hailuo AI. So as this is generating, let's just go through the Copilot as the basic features and things that you can do with the Copilot. If you notice, once you click on a particular image, it brings up other options like the edits that we explored. And you can also just snip selected items, just as you would do in a regular video editor. You can zoom in and zoom out. So this is what we used, what we just use this gauge for. And it gives you like a full view of the entire process. You can also increase the speed of each video. So if you want this to just move in a fast forward way, you can do it. And I think since there's no speech from the first part, and I think it's like 5 seconds, this is where we would probably need to just increase the speed of that first part of the video, so it won't just be a silent video, unless if we have a background music that we want to add. Yeah, and of course the export option, you can toggle the full screen to just show you the entire editor section. And of course, if you don't like any part, you can just select it and use this delete option. And if you just click on an empty space, it will give you the ability to insert new instructions, so that it would now create a particular scene or shot. And yes, so you can just choose the selection type as well, whereby you can just with stretch or just select all right. So I can just use the select all right and choose from here down to the end. And our video is almost done. So yes, there was a disclaimer before we started, and it was telling us that this would take 480 seconds to process the video. So it's a disclaimer that's upfront, so you wouldn't really have to complain and say, hey, like, why is this taking so much time? You signed up for it. So the first 4 images have been generated, and we would now proceed with the subsequent images. But that's basically how you generate your images, and that's how you animate them. And it matches the voice. So if you just decide to play this first part, it's not a complete work.
I feel like a peacock among pigeons tonight.
Better to be a peacock with a hawk than a pigeon in the open.
I mean, it's basically just trying to show you a combination of these aspects. Image has been generated, image converted to video, and the video itself has a voiceover, and that's basically what you can do with this. Now, if at any point you want to change the style, you could always come back to styles and choose the particular style that you want. If you don't like the voices, you can always change the voices. Now, if you notice from the list of characters, there are other extra characters, but because these characters were not mentioned as the main characters, this just created these characters and then just give them a generic name. These are just secondary characters within the story, but these are the ones that will have names attached to them. So any change you want to do, let's say I want to add a new character, I can just click on new and add the character, which would take me now to the manual section. As for the manual section, it's just you doing this same thing, but in a more elaborate way. I mean, it would take more time because you have to do all those things that we just saw individually. So as I want to create a new project, I can just go ahead and just click on new projects, obviously. And what this will give me, just like I showed you before, is the three options: the idea, the script, and then the blank project. And let me just show what the blank project means. So this is where you would now be required to add those voices by yourself. You have to add the style, you have to add the characters, the items, the locations, the shots, the effects, time. You need to add all these things. But of course, if you can't just identify those items, you can always use the AI to help you out and make your own necessary tweaks from there. There's also a brief help from FocalML, where any part you want to just know how it works. Once you hover your mouse on it, it will tell you those things, like how to generate a chapter, how to make a video. If you want to change an image, this is how you do it. If you want to edit a chapter, this is how you also do it. And any activity you do, like I said, takes credits. So if you want to monitor your credit usage, just click on the credits here and you would see, based on the models that you've used, it's going to list all the models quite sure. And then it's going to tell you, all right, like from ElevenLabs voices, we have used 409 characters, which has like taken away some of the credits that we have. We have also used Flux Pro 1.1 and then to generate 29 images. We have used Flux Dev to generate 62 images. We have used Luma AI to generate 2 videos. So this is how it's going to just give you a breakdown. We have also used Minimax to generate videos. So each would just indicate the allocation of credits used. So it will be easier for you to just keep an eye on the credits that you are using, so you won't have to run out of credits mid-project. Even though when you do, you can always just upgrade for more credits. And speaking of upgrading for more credits, these are the pricing plans. I mean, the startup plan is $10 and you'll be given 1,000 credits per month. And the pro plan, which is the highest, is 15,000 monthly credits and it costs $100 per month. And when you compare this pricing to individual prices of Luma AI or Kling AI or Hailuo or even ElevenLabs, then you would notice that this is a very a cheaper option to have your images and sounds or videos generated all in one place. You can always do this generation and export the images. I mean, the system allows you to upload images based on what you feel would be required. So when you come to this, you can always upload files. So which means if you have your generation from a different AI image generator, for instance, you can always just import it here and animate it here using any of these models. But why go all the way when you have everything in one place? Now, that's basically how you generate your individual shots or videos at large. But then let me just go ahead and show you what I've been able to create using this tool. It's important to note that this tool is still in its early stages, which means there are features that still don't work as you would expect, like the character consistency. Except you manually upload an image or describe it fully as you want and then add it as a character, you shouldn't expect it to always have like the same face for the characters. Also, the lip syncing option, which is the most obvious one, as the company has mentioned, it's still in the roadmap. And which means it's something that would work majorly for now on animations that you don't really need them to move their mouth. So if that's something that you have a use case for, then you would definitely love the workflow and usage of this particular system. Let me just show you what I have.
What's happening?
I feel alive.
Something's brewing tonight.
Something's different tonight. Save the heart of the world.
The heart of the world? Sounds important.
Do we go?
We must. Together.
All right, team. Time to shine.
All right, that particular story is one that I just generated using ChatGPT for the script, and then it went ahead and produced something like this, which is like a 3-minute long video. But the basic thing to know is these tools are changing the way we generate videos, the way we generate movies using AI, which if everything is working as expected, then we will definitely have a competition in our hands, whereby tools will be out there that you would just use at will. And I strongly believe that there's a better potential for this. There's a great potential. There's a great future for FocalML. And just go ahead. I mean, sign up, try it out yourself. Just explore the features and see if this is something that you would enjoy long term. So that's been it. Thank you for watching, and I will definitely see you in the next one. Goodbye.
If you have learned anything from this video, please click the Buy Me a Coffee link below. Every donation helps me to continue bringing this type of content to you.